Glad to have you with us at the Budweiser Shootout, where the winner gets a leg up on next Sunday's Daytona 500 right here on Fox. Let's go back upstairs, rejoin Mike and the guys. Mike?
Two drivers will drop to the rear, Chris. Casey Kane changed an engine after the first practice yesterday, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. changed the transmission, so they will drop to the tail end of the field. Darrell, let's get a word with the 1987 Budweiser Shootout winner.
Bill Elliott, DW here. That old paint job you got there, buddy, that brings back a lot of good memories. As you got the performance tonight.
I hope I can bring back a little of that magic from '85. The only thing I miss out here is having you to talk to like I did in '85.
Yeah, roger that. I was trying to help you, buddy. Your car looked good in practice. Do you think you can suck it up there and stay up front?
You know, we'll have this first 20 laps to kind of see how things play out. Then we still got another 50. You know, Hamlin's going to play a big part of it. See if we can get this Coors, do some good with this Coors car.
Well, it's good to see you out there, my man, and the car looks great. Good luck to you, Bill.
DW.
Well, let's get some late updates from pit road. Here's Matt.
Well, Mike, after weeks of practicing, the over-the-wall guys, it's opening night for them as well. Timmy Latica comes over to the Lowe's team. Jeff Gordon picks up 2 tire changers and a tire carrier this year, and all those big money intentions, the weeks of building up to this all-star event could all come down to what takes place in 13 or 14 seconds on pit road. Could be a huge night for the driver, but an even bigger night for these guys. Steve Burns?
Matt, there's so much energy in the Evernham Motorsports camp for drivers Casey Kane and Jeremy Mayfield. Jeremy said this afternoon, man, my full-time job in this sport as a driver, I was making $500 a week and working as a mechanic in the shop from 8 to 5, and I thought I was rich. To be where I am today is humbling and exciting. Dick Berggren.
Well, 4 drivers in tonight's race have never run the shootout before. Call them rookies, if you will, and 3 of them are youngsters. Casey Kane, age 24. Brian Vickers, a young 21. Casey Mears, just 26. And Greg Biffle, age 35. The race has been won 4 times by guys in their first start. Jeannie?
Well, this is a non-points event, but definite high risk. Speaking of Mr. Biffle, he is actually driving his Daytona 500 backup car tonight. He told me if he wrecks this puppy, he will have to go to a backup car that has not been tested, or maybe beg one of his teammates to borrow a car. And of course, it is handled with care for Bill Elliott, who literally has the fate of Sterling Marlin's Daytona 500 backup car at his hands. That's the car he's driving tonight, guys.
Thanks, Jeannie. Next lap, they'll be under green. Let's hear from our Fox crew chiefs, Larry McReynolds, Jeff Hammond. In this first 20-lap segment, what do you want your driver to learn about your car?
Well, I want him to let things sort out, but I need to know what that car is going to drive like for 20 green flag laps. And as Jeff Gordon alluded to, we have one opportunity to make adjustments, but then the big thing on my shoulders in that second segment is when to make that crucial pit stop.
Jeff, what kind of feedback do you want to get in these first 20 laps?
I wanted to try to figure out how comfortable he is as far as the car is concerned, and try to work as far as who is a good dance partner. You're really working to find out who can help you get to the front and keep your car up front, especially if you're able to lead this thing early on. And when you come down pit road, to make sure that you tell your crew chief everything is A-okay and whatever kind of adjustments we need to make, because when you come down for that crucial pit stop, you don't want to be having to make a lot of adjustments in. 4 tires in less than 13 seconds so you can get back out front.
Half a lap to green, Darrell. What's on your mind?
Listen, my heart's pounding away, but here's the thing. This is a 20-lap heat race. Now, you Saturday night racers know heat races don't pay a lot. I got to get to the feature. That's the 50 laps. But in the process, I got to be a data bank. I got to be telling my crew chiefs, here's what's happening every lap around this racetrack so they can adjust the car for me.
Do you need to lead in this first 20 laps if you can?
You got to do it. You need to experiment every way you can here. Can I fall back, and how quickly can I suck up? A lot of things you need to answer in this 20 laps because you don't have time in the 50 laps.
And being at the front keeps you out of the eye of the storm.
And there will be a storm. I don't know about y'all. I can't come to Daytona. I can't even stand up here and watch these cars come off of turn 4. My heart is pounding out of my chest. And butterflies, I got butterflies like I'm driving. My hands are sweating. Look at Larry. He's sitting on a hot stove with sweating ice water.
Watch the pace car. That Corvette makes the hard left turn. It's on pit road. We're 1,000 feet from getting this show on the road.
DW, I've been waiting 7 months. Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Last night in practice, we pretty much saw the low groove and the high groove was able to move. It wasn't like one groove had an advantage over the other.
Yeah, and Dale Jarrett jumped out there, which you can do from the pole, but watch how quickly they sack him up. He's a setting duck right out there.
Jarrett, Biffle, Vickers. Brian Vickers, the 25 to the inside, tracking Jarrett.
Now this is good information for Dale. If they had a restart late in the race, he says, okay, if I get way out front, looks like he can handle it. They didn't catch him. They're lined up behind him, and he's leading them around here 2 by 2. This is when you do what I call work both sides of the street if you're Dale Jarrett. Look in your mirror. When the inside line moves up, pull to the outside and just keep going backs and forth, trying to keep everybody behind him.
Dale Jarrett leads lap 1, but he's under pressure from Greg Biffle and the orange number 20 of Tony Stewart. They'll race 20 laps. They'll have a 10-minute break to work on the cars, then race 50 laps, which will include a pit stop. Winner goes home with more than $200,000.
Larry, that 16 car is picking up right where he left off at Homestead last fall.
I think he'll be one of the cars to watch here all week long. 20 cars started this race. 18 positions changed on that first lap.
Steve Burns.
Mike, Dale Jarrett's spotter, Bob Jeffries, has already told him after 1 lap, it looks like the high side is the fast side, and that's where DJ is right now.
Well, somebody forgot to tell Biffle.
I don't think
he scored it out with the lead.
Yeah, I don't think you can make that prediction on 1 lap. I think you got to let it sort out just a little bit here.
And guys, you want to keep an eye on that orange 20 car, Tony Stewart. To me, this is his kind of race. He likes these short sprint races.
A lot like Dale Earnhardt was. Dale, look at this 3 wide, wobbling and bobbling. Here they come. Oh, baby, hang on to her.
Vickers, they're caught in the middle. Is there a type of race Tony Stewart doesn't like? He ran the 24-hour race last weekend here. Riding with Brian Vickers.
Look at this.
Looking back at Dale Jr.
Give him a bump. Come on, get on up there.
And you'll hear us all the time talk about 3 wide. This racetrack is wide enough for 5 cars, but these cars bouncing around, juking around, that's when you get in trouble. You see Vickers, the 25 car, juking around off turn 4.
Yeah, well, there's so much turbulence. When you're behind all these cars, it just moves you around. You're in there trying to hold the wheel steady, but that thing jumps all over the place.
Biffle, Stewart, Bill Elliott up to 3rd with Casey Mears, Dale Jarrett, Kurt Busch, Jeremy Mayfield, Ryan Newman, Brian Vickers, and Jimmy Johnson, the top 10.
19 cars within 1¼ seconds of each other.
Here's Jeannie on the leader.
Well, Greg Biffle said to me earlier today that his car is exactly where he wanted it to be, where he plans it to be. He said, look, this car leads really well. It is really fast. Not so good in traffic, so I plan to stay out of traffic, stay out in front.
Well, you know what? I love it when a plan comes together, and that one is coming together pretty well right now.
Look at this gaggle back here. Things are not coming. They're coming together right here, but not in a good way.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 8 car, followed right here. Looking back at Jeff Gordon in the 24 car. These guys trying to work up the middle of this pack and get out of this eye of the storm.
I am really interested to see how Dale Jr. runs. He was 39 quickest in happy hour practice today, or in pre-qualifying practice today. That car did not look fast at all to me. I'm going to be interested to see how he fares tonight. On the other hand, Jeff Gordon looked like a rocket in practice today. And you know Jeffy, baby likes to rock it.
5 laps complete this time by. And Biffle is not giving anybody a chance at the lead. Tony Stewart has dogged in the last 3 laps, but has been unable to pull alongside.
Right now, it appears the top 3, Biffle in the 16, Stewart in the 20, and Elliott in the 39, they're pretty content to run single file with hopes that those guys behind them will keep running side by side and they maybe can pull away a little bit.
They just got their wish, Larry. Jimmy Johnson to the bottom. Casey Mears in the middle, and that's Kurt Busch, the purple car, up top. Jimmy Johnson breaks out for 4th place.
Spotters will start to tell these guys, hey, those front 3 are starting to pull away a little bit. You got to get in line. Let's do something here.
And if they will get in line, they can catch up in about a half a lap.
Here's Matt.
Chris Osborne, Jimmy Johnson's spotter, has been coaching him on what line and what driver to try to hook up with. He just told him moments ago when the 88 was closing, Dale Jarrett's coming. Now Jimmy's on the bottom. He told me earlier today that's where he wants to be. That's where he feels like you will have the most grip.
Shuffled out. That's a 21 behind you now. So 21.
It's so important for the spotter to keep telling that driver who and where everybody is. Who are you around? Because it means a lot to the driver. He knows how much faith to put in that guy beside of him.
Well, that spotter is that driver's other pair of eyes. Very important.
Peripheral vision is pretty limited in these cars these days. Can't be looking around a lot, so you're really relying on the spotter.
One incident in practice yesterday. Casey Mears turned down in front of Ricky Rudd in the backstretch. Thought he had cleared Rudd. Minimal damage to both cars. Easily repaired.
Yeah, they actually got those cars back out on the racetrack before practice ended, and both of them said that their cars were still good.
Jeff Hammond.
What I've been watching so far, the guys that started up front, with the exception of Dale Jarrett, have been really looking really strong. And I'm wondering what's going on with this 88 car, because he's all the way at the back of the pack, and I'm sure this is not where he wants to be.
Well, Jeff, just remember, those guys fought a vibration last night. They had that car in about 100 pieces this morning. Steve Burns talked about them changing the drive shaft. You just wonder, did they really get the vibration?
But think about Daytona and Talladega and Dale Jarrett. What does he traditionally do? Go to the back. He will fall back and he will ride there, and when it comes time to show what you got, don't count him out.
Now, while these guys are running side by side, Ricky Rudd in the 21, Jeff Gordon in the 24, you see that pack right there. They were single file, the top 8 or 9 cars pulling away from this second pack.
Yeah, there's going to be 2 distinctive groups here. Obviously, there already is. And in the back group back there is that 8 car, and I'm telling you, it's just not performing for him.
9 cars, then 10, then Jeff Bodine alone by himself in a car that has never quite got up to speed. Greg Biffle leads the Budweiser Shootout.